everyone, today we're going to cover how to play Wanted Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. There's a lot to go over, so let's get going. If you don't know, this song's actually played on a 12 string. I'm using just an acoustic. I don't have a 12 string. I'm not using a 12 string effect or anything like that. I just have a little bit of reverb. There's 3 harmonics at the beginning of the song, right after those like chimes. It's on the 7th fret on the D string. And there's 2 more on the 12th fret on the A and the D string. So it goes. So after the harmonics, he plays the first D chord. This is how you play a D. Except my ear tells me he's not playing a full D, he's like playing a suspended D. All you do is remove your middle finger and get that. It's a much lower sounding chord and it sounds awesome. Then he plays it a second time, except he plays as an upstroke going. Now we're into the main riff. So I'm going to play this really slow to start. What's important is the pattern he's playing. He does this all the way down the neck. If you watch my picking hand, he's going. So the first part to remember is that pattern. And the second thing to remember is he's just using 2 different shapes. So you're going to start this first riff. You're going to start this first riff by playing an open D, middle finger on the 14th fret on the G string, and then your index finger on the E string 11th fret. So the B string is not played at all for this riff, all the way down the neck. You're just using those 3 strings. And the second shape is just laying his finger across the frets. And that's actually the second chord of this riff. If we just do those first 2 shapes, then the next one is down on the 10th fret. Just lay your finger across the strings. The next shape, you're going to put your index finger on the 8th fret and your middle finger on the G string on the 9th fret. Next one is on the 5th fret. Next one is on the 3rd fret and the 4th fret. Now this last part, he actually picks both these notes at the same time and slides down. It's the same riff, so you're going from 3rd fret, index finger on the E string, and then your middle finger's on the G string, 4th fret. You're going to pluck both those notes. And then he slides back and does it a second time. So that pre-verse goes like this. Now you'll notice in the tab, he doesn't actually do that hammer-on. I do that because I don't have a 12 string, so it, you know, the higher frequency notes generated from the 12 string sound, you know, they just ring nice. So without a 12 string, I just think it sounds good doing that. You don't have to do that. You can play it the way the tab shows, you know, without it. But anyway, that riff, you're going to play 2 A's, and then this C on the 3rd fret on the A string, you're going to bend it a half note, half bend, right to the D string, and then you're going to bend that as well, 3rd fret. that goes into the D chord. All I'm doing is going down the strings and then with that hammer on. And then the last part goes from a F back to the D. Again, suspended D without that middle finger. You can play this two different ways. You can actually play this F2 without that root if you don't want to bar it. I've actually seen him do it that way, so it's up to you. So now we're up to the verse, and he plays, there's two chords I want to show you before, because you already know the D. The C that he's using and the G, he's playing a little differently. So you're going to play with your ring finger and your pinky finger on the 3rd fret, and then your index finger and your middle finger are going to play the same. So a normal C that you're probably familiar with is like this. You're simply just going to shift your hand and play it this way. What that enables you to do is switch to this G as well, leaving your pinky and your ring finger right here. You're not going to move them, so you're going to play the C and then the G. So you can go between them. And it sounds really cool, especially when he does that riff. I just wanted to go over those chords first because they're a little bit different. So the verse starts with a D, and he's using the suspended 4th and 2nd. So let me do that slower. You can see how I'm just hammering and pulling off. Into the C, then to the G. So that riff in between goes like this. All I'm doing is hammering on the 2nd fret. And then I'm just playing the next 2 strings open. So going into the chorus, that part just is a C, down to the G, back to the F, to the D. So it should go. Again, I do that hammer on. So you're going to do the C to the G again. So where he does that bend, he does this riff first. So the whole thing is going to go hammer onto the 2nd fret from an open A. So you're going to go, right? Open A, 2nd fret, and then the next 2 open strings. Bend on the 3rd fret. So bend on the 3rd fret, open D string, and then bend again on the 3rd fret on the D string. And then you're going to go down the D again. And then he goes back to the when I've tried to teach people this in the past, those shapes, for some reason, people have struggled with because they're so familiar playing C and G the standard way. So another way you can do this is a little trick for you. If you just put your finger, your pinky finger, on the 3rd fret B string, instead of doing that, it still sounds just as good. And then the second verse is identical. He gets a little bit more passionate and, you know, emotional in the chords he's playing, but it's pretty much the same thing. If you guys would like me to do a second video with the rest of the song, please let me know, comment below, and we'll get it done for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Keep rocking.